Hey guys, me again with another YouTube video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a newer style upper receiver that just so happened to work with M-4 PDWs for some reason. I seriously did not measure this out at all. It just so happened to coordinate that it is the same exact length as most of the other M4 PDWs that I've done, and today this is basically all we're looking at. So this is a really interesting upper receiver because it's a frictionless upper receiver, which basically means that it has probably one of the slickest bolts that I've ever built. And on the inside, because you can see that these are glass pieces, is where the rubber band itself is. So how I designed this bolt is that it works like a drawer that you would find on a cabinet. So one of those down there, it works like that. If you ever pull out a drawer on any cabinet like that, you'll see that there's space above, below, and then on the sides of that drawer. The only time it ever touches anything is usually down here, and it's on these things called rails. And the rails are the metal pieces with the wheels that run through the track. Those are what rails are. And that's kind of how this bolt works. So as you can see that there is no space on the bottom here, and it doesn't really touch the sides of the receiver here and here, but it does run on a track right there. So as you can see, when you're pulling the bolt back, it's going to run on that. Now then, there is space between this, basically like these two plates, and then the top of the bolt, because the bolt comes way up to here, right there. And as you can see, I've capped it at the back so it doesn't look ugly, but there is space on the inside between this charging handle and the top of the receiver. But that's all that you really needed to get it to snap forward as much as it does. The other thing about this receiver is that it's an ambidextrous receiver and bolt. So this works kind of like the AK-12. If you are shooting right-handed, then your shell ejection is going to happen on this side, which is where your brass deflector and forward assist are. But on this side, I've left spacers in so that if you ever want to come in and change it to left-handed, you can just simply remove this piece and this piece, slap it on these sides, and then take all these pieces and put it on this side. And then all you got to do is, in real life, all you'd have to do is move the extractor over onto this side. The extractor is just a little piece of metal with like a tab on it that comes into the back of your cartridge, and it pulls it out in that direction. So the extractor would be on this side, but if I want to make it left-handed, I put it on this side. Also, you can see a rubber band on the inside. Rubber band connects to front of the receiver like so. Rubber band also connects to the back of the bolts. Back of the bolt is right there, those gray pieces. So this bolt, even though you can only see 6 of it, is actually 8 studs long. So that's the magic that's happening here. A lot of people think that you can only have like 6 studs of bolts, but if I made it 8 studs so that I can attach the rubber band to the back here, but still have this really cool transparent window type thing going on here. Plus, just a really awesome bolt for the fact that it snaps forward like it does. But this is a pretty simple bolt to make. If you guys want to replicate the design, just look at that. So, angles. And then there's a layer of plates, another normal brick, a layer of plates, angled pieces. And then for the rubber band sits right there. Reinforcement piece, reinforcement piece. The bolts, I'm sure you guys can figure it out. How the rail system works on the inside, on this side, you should be able to figure it out. And then forward assist and brass deflector are pretty easy to figure out. I mean, like, this one is seriously pretty easy to figure out. That one's even more easy to figure out. Shouldn't be that hard. And this is a really nice upper receiver. And seriously, I didn't even measure how long this was going to be, but it did turn out to be just as long as this. So this is the original M4 PDW that I've built in real life. So go ahead and break this down. So this is your upper and lower receiver. I just took it apart so you guys can see it better and I can get on camera better. So I'm going to use this side because it's easier to use this side. So this literally just sits right up against it and is the same exact amount of studs. And I didn't even measure this upper receiver compared to this one. When I got home, I laid out those base plates exactly like that and I started building. So I was actually super surprised that this even matched this. Will I build a lower receiver and stock and everything for this? Maybe. I don't know. Just so you guys do know that if I take and I squeeze this together so you can hear it creaking, it still functions flawlessly, which is the part about the friction. So for my FN Herstal Scar PDW that's sitting over there on the bookshelf, if you took it and put your hand up on top and you squeeze down on it, your bolt's not going to function like this. It's going to get binded up somewhere right about here and it won't snap forward. But the beauty with this is that you can push up and down, and since it has headspace, it's not going to bind up or anything. So that's how that's done. It's a pretty simple design, and this is actually a really nice looking receiver, all gray, aside from the back of the charging handle and the top where the flat pieces are. Those aren't gray. And it's also got translucent pieces so you can see the rubber bands on the inside, which I think is kind of cool. I like that. I like being able to see the rubber bands. I do have more of these gray pieces though, so if I ever want to use the gray pieces, I could always use those. The other cool thing is that this bolt is entirely hollow, so the rubber band can run through it. And it's the first entirely hollow bolt that I've ever produced. All the other bolts that I've produced aside from the Barrett Mark II and Mark I were full solid bolts. The Barrett bolt, the very front part worked like a U shape, and it didn't have, it just needed room for a rubber band in it, and this one's back together. It just needed room for a rubber band because I didn't really have one because the barrel recoil system with that. So that's how I did a rubber band system in the Barrett. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, so I'll see you guys later in another YouTube video. Like I said, if you guys want to build your own, just count how many studs this top part is, look at the pattern here, pause the video right there if you need it, and then so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Also, this side has a flat piece on it. This side does not. Use this flat piece. Makes it look better. That's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys later in another YouTube video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did not, I'm sorry I couldn't help you. If you did, don't forget to leave a comment, a subscribe, that'd be great, a like, things like that. If you guys want to see more of these style of MOCs and anything else related to guns, don't be afraid to check out my website at bluejaythemeister.weebly.com. That'd be greatly appreciated, and I'd like it if you guys did that because it helped me out, and it probably helped you out because there's some guns on there that I haven't even made videos for yet. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe.